Okay, y'all, what's up? How you doing? Sedrik and Sidra here, CRS and commentary, and today is going to be more of a, well, we're going to talk about Disco Inferno and what they had to say on K100, as it's called, because I wasn't happy with what he had to say. Do you remember a little bit of it, Sidra?
I do.
Did you feel any certain way about what you heard him say?
I did.
All right. So we at least in agreement with that. So look, let's tackle something, because he's got this, I don't know, this strange, I'm going to say, elitist mindset. You know, he talks about the dirt sheet guys being elitist and whatnot, you know, but then he's like, I can't be wrong because I'm always right and I'm the superior one. He's just a walking contradiction. That's all it is. So he says that Collision is pretty much, since it has low numbers, it is Rampage. No, it's not. Mm-mm. It's not even close to Rampage. Rampage ain't even Rampage. Okay? Just because it got low numbers, you can't say it's another show.
Exactly.
That's just stupid. It really is. And so, here's the thing. Why would Collision have low numbers? Okay? He also cites that the reason they have low numbers is because, well, there's nothing interesting up there since CM Punk is going to do the whole deal with the Young Bucks. You know, no one's interested. And see, that is that elitist right there. Mm-hmm. That is that self-centered elitism, because what he's saying is, I am not interested, so no one is interested. And I'll be honest with you, as soon as you talk like that, you're a freaking noob. And you're an idiot.
And let's add to that, the reason why the whole CM Punk Young Bucks thing isn't happening is not because of CM Punk.
That's Tony Khan.
And and the Young Bucks, because they're petulant children. And they don't want to work with him because
he probably don't want to work with them. But they're not going to get his way. They're not going to go over. So of course they're not going to want to work with them. Mm-hmm. But look, why would they have low numbers? You know, why?
My question is, do they advertise?
Not necessarily.
I mean, they advertise on all their other shows.
They wouldn't know how to advertise outside. They could advertise on YouTube at all given points. They could advertise on other TV channels, Fox and all of them. You know, they want the money. They ain't worried about, you know, territories and
maybe
stuff.
Other sports shows. I mean, that's how we back. It is back in the day, but I will just say this: that's how we found TNA back in the day.
Yep.
It was an advertisement, and we were like, "What was that?"
Yep, it was advertising on a different channel. It was a drama channel or something.
I don't know what it was.
We was watching a drama. That's all I can remember, and it just took us by storm. We were ready at that point. We were ready. So, think about this, everybody. Straight up, just think about it. You've got Monday, okay? Monday, that's when wrestling day begins. That's 3 hours of watching TV. 3 hours of Raw. Then you've got Tuesday, you know, and that's going to be what, NXT or something or whatnot. So that's like 2 hours. You've got Wednesday, that's Dynamite. That's another 2 hours. So we're already up to 7 hours of wrestling already. 7 hours, you know, and then you've got, if you watch Ring of Honor, so that's another, on average, yeah, that's already 8 to 9 hours, depending upon which they do. And then you've got SmackDown. That's another 2 hours. So you're looking at 10 to 11 hours. This is wrestling. People get burnt out. They get burned out. And then you've got Rampage, another hour. Then you get Collision, and you in it for 2 hours, you're burned out. Most people halfway through, I'm not wasting my time watching this. That's just too much wrestling.
And it's Saturday night. Granted, in the past, 6:05 Saturday night was a great time slot, but people might be going out.
Yep. I mean, they're burned out and they're already people are burned out. Look at Jim Cornette and Brian Last. They make money on watch time on YouTube. That's it. Watch time, view count, and watching all of these wrestling shows would behoove them greatly. But they don't. They don't. They don't watch Ring of Honor. They don't watch Rampage. They don't watch NXT. So the WWE crowd is burned out by the time they want to watch anything AEW. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, nobody's going to be watching that mess. It's just too much. And Collision comes on at the tail end of the wrestling week. And then you got people building up for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It'll happen on Saturdays or Sundays.
And AEW is going to do a 4-hour pay-per-view. 5 really. And since you want to get there early for some reason, so people been there for 6 hours. Some people, that stuff, when you do something like that, it stays in your system. You don't have it in you to just watch wrestling for a while. Some people just don't watch wrestling because of that. So keep that in mind. So yeah, Disco Inferno, you should add that to it. All the wrestling, because you know what happens? By the time AEW is done, Dynamite, people are burned out. So Rampage has already been educated that they're not going to do anything intelligent up there. So people aren't going to watch it too much. And Collision, you've got the Young Bucks crowd out there that don't want to support CM Punk because they don't see it as another Tony Khan show. They see that. They see that as CM Punk's show. That's how they see that. And that's that right there. That's what happens. People don't want to watch it. It's tribalism. It's silly, meaningless, stupid tribalism. And
okay, let me get into something else. I don't know if you were going to touch on this, but something else that Inferno said was that the only ones that want to watch CM Punk versus Samoa Joe are people who were interested 20 years ago.
That pissed me off.
Nobody wants to see it now. Okay, so let's address this. CM Punk was not wrestling for 7 years, came out of retirement, and everybody has just been gone gaga over CM Punk. The babies are still in the air. Joe has been active that entire time in valid companies. And since he's gotten to AEW, I'm not saying that he's been used the best, but he's still Samoa Joe.
Yup.
He can still go. So people now wanting to see that makes all the sense in the world. It's now if you say, hey, main event on Collision, we're gonna have Steamboat versus Ric Flair. Okay, yeah, that would be a problem right now because neither one of them are going anywhere.
Exactly.
But they are not that age. They're not there yet. They're still valid and relevant in the wrestling kingdom, for lack of a better phrase right now. So that was a very out of touch statement by Kermit Inferno.
He does sound like Kermit the Frog. But look, let's want to be the whole, how I see it and all that crap. Okay, check this out. The people that just saw them in 2003 or 20 years ago, you know something? I didn't.
Neither did I.
I didn't see him. I barely know of CM Punk, but I know his style. I've seen it. I've seen 3 of his matches. I'm down. I got it. Samoa Joe, we basically, come on. We done seen so much of him. We could just, it's just there. It's obvious. We know him.
Mm-hmm.
We know how he gets down. So that means Samoa Joe, we know what to expect. We've seen how Punk get down. We like, okay, we analyze that in our heads quickly. What would that look like? We know of Joe, we know of Punk. How would that do? And then suddenly they did it. So it's not just because we saw them 20 years ago or some crap like that, or heard about them 20 years ago. I heard about their few matches, but I know as time goes on, the matches don't exactly get more. It's just, a thing. Mm-hmm. That's just how that's just how I see it. It's a thing that happens. So he also mentioned, what else did he mention? Because I think you just nailed that one. Like nobody wants. Oh yeah, he was interested. Like the only thing he's interested in is like, since it's not going to be the Young Bucks versus CM Punk thing, then nobody's interested. First of all, screw you. You don't dictate what everybody else wants to see. All right, I wouldn't even say that stupid mess.
If that's the case, nobody wants to see the Young Bucks.
Because I don't care to see the Young Bucks, so nobody should see. Nobody watches the Young Bucks because I don't care to watch them.
If I never saw the Young Bucks again, I'd be fine. But I am not the wrestling watching populace.
And look, Disco Inferno was a mark. As much as he's in the business, he is a mark. Yeah, it is good to capitalize on that drama, but the thing is that drama was real. That's the thing. That was legit drama. So you want to take something that's real and throw it in the ring and then have them hash it out like that. And Disco Inferno said it himself that, like most likely one is going to potato the other and they're probably going to have a few legit shots of, yeah, he's a mark for that stupid mess. I don't want to see people get in the ring and fight it out into a blood fest. As much as I would like to see the Young Bucks get their ass handed to them because they earned it, I don't want to see them bloodied up and body parts missing or injured and stuff like that. Regardless of how much, jackwise they are, they're still trying to feed their family. Why have the family suffer because they're idiots?
That's true.
So to sit there and be like, I just want to see them. Okay, then Disco Inferno. I know he'll never see this because, he's too full of himself. He smells his own farts. But, okay, then they say it. It's going to be CM Punk, FTR versus the Young Bucks. And it's going to be whatever the next pay-per-view is. Okay? You say, now we're cooking. Now we're doing it. Yeah, this is going to be great. You're a freaking mark. That's what you are. You are one of them piss poor marks because they go out, have the match. It's a humdinger of a match. They get their moves in. They show no animosity. They just, have a great match. Punk wins with the go to sleep on Matt Buck. And, that's it, right? Then what you going to do? You're going to complain that it didn't feel real. It didn't look real. He didn't take out his true aggression. You're going to find something to complain about.
No. After that match, all the views will flood in because, I don't know. That's the key to it, right? So they'll get all the views.
They'll get the views. And then after that, then what? Then what? You have the match and then what? Then you say, we could certainly, build upon that. We could have these type of matches and that kind of match. So you're going to get these two teams, these 6 people in various singles, tag, 6-man tag, and then eventually get the 6-man tag team belts and go for that and then have a thing with that. So one can try to take it from the other. So you can get about a year, maybe year and a half out of all that. Yeah. But then what's going to happen? And they're going to say it. They're going to say it. I'm getting tired of it. Mm-hmm. It's getting stale. It's getting boring. These guys got the attention span of an amoeba. It's terrible.
Don't insult the amoeba. They're just living
I'm not going to insult. I said these guys, my bad. Just him.
They're just living their lives.
Everybody wanted to see. Look, let's use real history then. Let's use real recent history. The Bucks, FTR, hate each other's guts, right? No, they didn't. The fans picked tribal sides so strongly, they believed in their hearts that these two teams hated each other's guts. They had their words, they talked their trash, and that was it. And out of all that trash talking, not one of them was talking about, let me catch you in the street. Let me see you in the parking lot. Or let me catch you and your wife. It was nothing like that. Nothing. There was no hard-hitting trash talking. Or any, really. It's just like, screw yourselves. Y'all suck. You're nothing. we have a better show, or we have more fans, or something like that. And then they get in the ring. They finally have their match after all that build up and all that stuff. And the fans are going crazy over it. They have their match. Everybody do their thing. And I think FTR lost that match.
I think so.
And then it's like nobody cared. As soon as it ended, nobody cared. Nobody. And then look, Cornette and Last, Disco Inferno, and they'll talk about how the match just seemed flat. And then they talked about how it was two different styles and how it's like, no. You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted, and you didn't like it. Mm-hmm. And then you find out 2-3 years later, wow, they've always been good friends. They got in the ring. They cooperated well together. It was a great time. And now everyone is like, well, dang. So then you got FTR and CM Punk against the Bucks. But we know the Bucks and FTR are great friends. So what are you trying to get? Think about that mess, people.
People can't be satisfied.
No, they can't. You can't satisfy the people because you give them what they want and they ain't gonna like it. But then you got those that's like, I loved it. It was awesome. You got those that say, oh, it sucked. And then as time goes by, slowly that's going to flip. Because they're going to get a little wiser. Because people do get wiser. And they'll be like, okay, it wasn't what I thought it was. It was kind of stale, yada, yada. It's like, what? And the others be like, no, man, that was really good. I thought it sucked at first, but you know what? That was a really good match. It's like, oh, man, come on. And Disco Inferno falls right in that. Now, look, Disco Inferno, he knows what he's talking about for the most part when it comes to wrestling, but the time has passed for that match. It's done. And even if they did bring it, you're not going to get what you want. It's not going to happen that way. And it is outright blatant stupidity to say and think that Collision doesn't do well because that match hasn't happened. I think that's just stupid to say. They don't advertise it. It's at the tail end of wrestling week. Everyone is burnt out. They don't want to watch any more damn wrestling. And if they did want to capture a crowd, you know which crowd they should be capturing? The casual wrestling fans. That's who they should be going after. They should be going after the crowd, not the AEW marks, not the AEW, the elite marks. They need to be going after the casual wrestling fan, the NWA lovers, the traditional wrestling fans, those that want to believe in it. That's who they need to be going after. But Tony Khan doesn't know how to advertise like that. He doesn't know what to say or what to do.
He's in Collision, he's got the matches that could hook them, but as you said, he doesn't know how to advertise it. This going on with CM Punk and FTR and Bullet Club Gold. This is good.
This is beautiful.
This is good.
This is a whole lot better than what you would get out of the Bucks, because you know how a Bucks match is going to go. You put Kenny and the Bucks in there with CM Punk and FTR, and you know how that match is going to go. It goes the same everywhere. You got to work within the Bucks style because they don't have any other style. They can't pro wrestle. It's not their style. It's quick, get to the point of high flying, wow the crowd, get the pops, finish with some lame move, and then think that you're the greatest tag team because others say they like you.
Let the Bucks have their heyday where they are, and let the wrestlers on Collision build this show up. What did you expect? Collision to start off with 2 million and hold strong for eternity? No, this show gonna have to be built up because it's coming from the crap that you see every other show. They have to build something, and they're creating a foundation that could work. But folks like you are like, no, it's not what we've been seeing, so I don't want to see it. Although you hate what you've been seeing. That doesn't make any sense.
Not at all. I don't get it. I just don't see how people can just. I get the initial thought, the initial lust of seeing something. I get that. Okay. So I don't begrudge that. Like, oh man, that would be awesome. I think that would be the greatest thing. Okay. Get that out your system. Think that, feel that, know that. Then Give it an hour or two. Give it a day, maybe. Pause. Think back on it. And then ask the most important question you can ask. What after that? What then? Where does it go? How would you keep it fresh? That's what you got to think. You know? So I think everyone just needs to take a step back, especially Disco Inferno. Just wonder what is, how it is, why it is, and then what match would you get out of that? Just think about it. What match are you just write it down if you got to. I don't care if it's on computer or not, whatnot. Write down what you expect to see out of that match. FTR, CM Punk, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. What do you expect to see in that match? Write that down. What's your hope? Rest on it. Give it a week. And then write it again and see if it matches what you wrote before. That's what you do. That's what makes sense to me. You know, what about you?
Yeah, although all Disco's gonna do is step back into his own footsteps and be like, "Yep, I was right with the first thought."
You know, while the iron was hot, they could have done it. That would have made sense. It would have been a great jumping off point, but it would have undermined the rest of anything to go on the show. It really would have undermined it, and it would have taken away from it. But you know, after that show had been on for, I'm gonna say second week, it wasn't gonna happen. Give up on it, because that's when they should have done it, the first or the second week. And since they didn't, it's time to chill. You know, they're going in a different direction. They're protecting the Bucks. They're protecting all the stuff in the company, and that's what they want to do.
There might be some contract signed somewhere saying that they're not going to do that. You never know.
Yeah, be like, I'm not fighting them. That's just asking for it. That's how that might end up, and you can't blame them. You can't blame them. You gotta protect your company. You gotta, because if it did break out into a shoot and they punching and kicking and stuff like that for real, the match is going to be short, and the two sides will be this: Punk will decimate them or annihilate them again. And the reason I changed that up, because decimation means to kill or save or whatnot every 10th of something or person, depending upon whatever the situation is. Annihilation, obliteration, devastation. Yeah. So they would say Punk would devastate them. And then you got those like, did you see Punk's, MMA career? I don't think so. And then someone would say, yeah, but has the Bucks ever had an MMA career?
Good point.
So, yeah, at least Punk tried. At least he went out there and he tried. The Bucks, they talk about being the best tag team after they have done what they did to FTR. And Dax came out and he said it like, yeah, they shortchanged us and all that. But the Bucks ain't gonna put themselves in that position. Not on TV. Oh yeah, behind closed doors, they did the mean girl thing, and I can do whatever I want to do and get away with it because yeah, okay. But they're not gonna put themselves out there like that. They ain't stupid. So, well, they're stupid, but they're not that stupid, okay? So, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think? So you think so?
Yeah. All
right then. So that's been Sedrik and Sidra for CR Wrestling Commentary, and those are our thoughts on Disco Inferno and stuff. So y'all be safe, be chill, be good, and we'll see you next time.